South Park just roasted the hell out of fat acceptance, and so am I. As an ex-fat, boy, oh boy, do I have some things to say about it. I got some thoughts, okay? Welcome back to another video. Hey, my name is Momo. Welcome back to the channel, and today I am going to be talking about fat acceptance. South Park just released a new special called South Park: The End of Obesity, which mainly focuses on the Ozempic crisis. However, they do talk about some other subjects, including body positivity / fat acceptance, and definitely made fun of Lizzo a lot. South Park talked about a whole bunch of different things in this South Park End of Obesity special, but today we're going to focus on mainly the roast and exposure of fat acceptance and their bullshit. Before we get into it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, or my cat Nova is going to be very upset at you. And trust me, you would not like her when she is upset. Right now, I am trying to reach 500 subscribers, so please subscribe and like the video. Also, thank you so much for the support, because y'all be hyping me up in the comments and making me feel so good. Thank you so much for your positive comments. It be making me blush and stuff. South Park just dropped the End of Obesity special, which is a concept surrounding Ozempic, the people abusing it, Big Pharma, the big sugar business, the American healthcare system, and of course, body positivity / fat acceptance. In this special, Carter goes to the doctor who tells him that he is obese and about to die, and him and his mom really need to do something about it. He wants to get on Ozempic, but he can't afford it because, you know, insurance don't like to cover nothing, right? And Ozempic is ridiculously expensive. So he gets prescribed Lizzo instead, aka body positivity, which is what the poor people get instead of getting on Ozempic, which they can't afford.
There's these new medications that can treat obesity, but my mom can't afford them, so the only people that can get them are people who can pay $1,200 a month, and the rest of us get this. What's this? It's a prescription for Lizzo. Rich people get Ozempic, poor people get body positivity.
Oh yeah. So I already knew right away this was about to be a trip. Apparently that's the only two damn options, is either get on Ozempic or have the money to get it fixed, or just get on body positivity, you know? Healthy lifestyle changes would be just preposterous. So him and his friends are then determined to get him the help so he can stop being fat. So they fight through the American healthcare system. And boy, oh boy, was this one of the most realistic portrayals of the system. Like all of us could relate to, because it was such a damn mess. Like this montage of them trying to get a prescription covered was almost too real for me, bro.
We need confirmation from a different specialist.
Let's go and navigate the American healthcare system. It's the best system of them all. No, we already talked to the insurance company. They were supposed to talk to you.
Meanwhile, all the rich soccer moms are now on Ozempic, and they can use it for their weight loss, and they're showing off their flat-toned tummies all around town. Trying to get Ozempic is getting harder and harder, so the soccer moms start doing heists, and they basically start hoarding all the Ozempic and the semaglutide up around town. Basically, the boys decide to order semaglutide from the Middle East for dirt cheap and start making it on their own, and they start cooking it and whipping it up in the damn kitchen. They start freaking cooking and pushing this out like freaking professionals. Okay? But big sugar companies get mad and they get determined to stop this foolishness and put body positivity back on them so they can keep making the record profits from all that sugar and bad food.
The sugar business have a big problem. We designed our cereals so that people would always crave more and more. But now obesity drugs are making people less cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. These obesity drugs are an attack on all of us. Even you, Captain Crunch.
The soccer moms are also fiending for more semaglutide because, again, it's running out, and shenanigans ensue. So the South Park End of Obesity special just came out like 1 or 2 weeks ago. I caught it on Paramount Plus. I don't know what else it's streaming on, but that's where I watched it. And I freaking loved it. It is so damn funny, and it has this great entertaining ass storyline to explore these like more serious topics of Ozempic and health. South Park just really loves to do that balance between dark humor and goofiness with truth and insight, and I freaking love shows that do that because I'm a freaking dork. I love when they combine humor with information and knowledge and like exposing the shit, giving you a deeper understanding. And you basically in the special get to learn exactly about what's going on with these more complicated topics like Ozempic and healthcare in a really fun way. And it's just done like so smartly. I don't even know if smartly is a word, but they just always do such a great job with it, and it makes me want to watch more of South Park. I know I haven't actually watched the show. I know, but I never like caught it when I was growing up as a kid, and I really want to watch it now, but it literally just moved to like HBO or something like that I don't have. So I will watch it soon. Sorry. So again, I think South Park told absolutely no lies on any of these concepts, but today I'm focusing on the fat acceptance part because that is what I want to talk about. Basically, what South Park did is just expose that fat acceptance is a damn scam. And I'm gonna say that it's a scam, it's a scheme.
FDA approved Lizzo makes you feel good about your weight, and it costs 90% less than Ozempic.
I've lowered my standards and my expectations.
In case studies, 70% of patients on Lizzo no longer cared how much they weighed.
I don't give two shits.
Food companies are definitely want to push body positivity and fat acceptance so they can keep getting you to buy that food. You feel me? When we become more aware of our health, the body positivity is a perfect solution for that, for big sugar. So the food companies get paid and the fat people and obese people get validated. And we all win.
Lizzo helps you eat everything you want and keep physical activity to a minimum. Are you living with concerns of obesity?
Ask about the power of not giving a fuck with Lizzo.
Body positivity kind of led to fat acceptance and that activism. Now they're not really accepting, like that particular community and niche are not super accepting of the skinnies, the evil skinnies, okay?
Body positivity has encouraged so many people of all sizes to feel comfortable in their bodies, which is obviously positive. But I'd like for us to admit that straight size bodies look to be more and more represented in the space at the expense of seeing other body types, like the fat bodies that was originally created to center and advocate for. So here I am to take up space in this movement, a cleanse for your body positivity feed, if you will, showing off my belly, my back rolls, my thighs, physical features that I am oppressed for, vilified for, and hated for.
I've been paying attention to the signs, but like we are re-entering a thin is in era, and it's fucking with me real bad.
This is so sick and fucking twisted! Sick and twisted! Nope, it's not a movement for everyone. The body positive movement is a movement created by fat black women for fat black women and other marginalized bodies. Thin people are not marginalized. Stop co-opting it.
And they love to scream about how weight is not an indicator of health, and even claiming weight loss doesn't have serious health benefits, which is just absolute baloney. In some extreme cases, they just straight up deny, okay? Straight up deny scientific facts by any backward logic that they can.
Correlation is not causation, and when we say that cardiovascular disease more frequently occurs in fat people, that isn't necessarily because of their weight. Like if I said that bald men were more likely to have cardiovascular disease, that wouldn't mean that giving them Rogaine would stop them from having heart attacks. A causal link hasn't been established between body fat and heart disease.
Just a reminder that I am very fat and very sexy, and I am 100% glorifying obesity, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And one thing that they do that really grinds my goddamn gears is that they love to cherry pick little small parts and small snippets from studies and articles to try to prove their freaking point. And they will take one or two snippets of like one goddamn study that they found, post it up on their TikTok and be like, see guys, like this study just proved it from this one or two sentences I pulled off of it.
Like, for real. 95 to 98% of attempts to lose weight fail. I'm just gonna move out of the way so you can pause to read.
That's just some shit that that y'all pulled out the bottom of your ass. I hate that. They're just ignoring decades and years of serious research and like scientifically proven facts so they can feel validated in their bullshit, and I just don't appreciate. And as far as this whole fat discrimination thing, they are starting to really compare it heavily to being marginalized and being a minority. And now you have these freaking white girls up here online sitting there saying how they're a minority and a marginalized group. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's coming off as very privileged. Fat discrimination does exist. I'm not saying that. I believe there's discrimination for anyone outside of the standard, especially like the beauty standard. For example, when I was growing up, yes, I was bullied for being fat. Like I said, I used to be real chunky, but I was also bullied for being black, being nerdy, being neurodivergent, anything that is slightly out of that standard beauty norm, you are going to get discriminated against for. And I don't care what anyone says, skinny shaming 1000% exists. I believe that any body can be picked apart these days, okay? Not just for being fat. Even though fat discrimination does exist, I think there is a couple, like one or two sprinkled in valid points they have, like about, going to the doctor. There's one or two valid points in there, but most of this is bullshit, especially when they're talking about how like the smaller seats or the small towels and the hallway sizes and all these other arguments, how they want to change everything in the world to fit their big ass. I think that is arguments that are based in privilege.
I'm a plus-size wheelchair user, and on a recent flight to the SeaTac airport, I requested wheelchair assistance, as I always do. When it came time for me to deplane, I saw the employee who would be assisting me with my wheelchair waiting for me in the entry of the jet bridge. As I approached her and she realized she'd be assisting me and not one of the smaller passengers, she started to walk away with the wheelchair while making comments about my size. I was then forced to walk up one of the longest jet bridges I've encountered, and she didn't stop. The woman just assumed I could walk and would rather me do that, instead of her having to push someone my size up the jet bridge.
Things I hate as a fat person. Number one has to be those little connected chairs at schools. Number two is glasses, because the frames are never wide enough and they're always splaying out the little arms. Number three is shopping at the grocery store, because we're all here to get food, but how come I'm the problem here? I just feel like all fat people, when they're going to the grocery store, people are looking at you and judging you no matter what you get. And fourth is concert seating, because oh my god, they are the narrowest things. They're narrower than plane seats. They're literally, and they're always at the highest peak. It's almost a 90-degree angle of walking up to sit there. It's are you wanting people to fall down?
Okay, so let's start off with the basics, never being able to borrow your friend's clothing. My best friend is literally a size 2. I'm a size 16, 18. That's just not going to happen. If you have a skinny mom, you'll definitely be able to understand this one, is never being able to wear her wedding dress on your wedding day. Or how about the fact that being fat is fucking expensive?
I will say, someone who harms their bodies by constantly choosing extremely unhealthy habits, I do consider that a slightly negative trait. Am I going to judge that person or not be friends with that person or anything like that? No, because I was that damn person. But it doesn't affect us on a daily basis. It affects you on a daily basis, okay? So that's on you, sis. I literally saw one post, I'm gonna find it for this video. They were talking about how you can have other chronic illnesses with or without being fat. So therefore, it doesn't matter if they're in a fat body, because if they weren't in a fat body, they would be sick anyway. So therefore, the weight doesn't equal the health, okay? First of all, health is a damn spectrum, okay? It's not something that you have or don't have. It's not yes or no, black or white. You know what I mean? And if you do have a chronic illness, a lot of us have chronic invisible illnesses. That's even more of a reason to be practicing healthy habits, to be paying more attention to your diet and exercise habits. That's even more of a reason. It's not an excuse just to say fuck it and forget about it, like it doesn't damn matter. the backwards logic. The backwards logic here is what really gets me.
I wanted to add in one more tiny thing here. So I see a lot of arguments from fat acceptance influencers saying that just because you're in a fat body doesn't mean you are not taking care of yourself, not eating healthy, not exercising. It's not just for thin people or weight loss. And I kind of agree with that. The problem is having excess body fat in itself does negatively affect your everyday quality of life and your health. And there is several diseases that are directly related to having excess body fat. My favorite example and the easy example that I like to pull out my ass is diabetes type 2. Type 2 diabetes is directly related to having excess body fat. It is, heavily influenced by genetics and what you're predisposed to, but it's caused by having excess body fat. Having painful joints and painful back can be caused by having excess body fat directly. Like, I'm sorry, but yes, genetics do play a part. Yes, everyone's body is different, but no one's meant to be morbidly obese. Like, our bodies are just not physically supposed to be handling that much amount of weight on our skeletons.
It seems like on one side they want you to believe that you can live your absolute best life as a fat person, and the only problem is society's extreme discrimination against you. That's the problem. And as an ex-fat, I can just tell you right now that shit is absolutely not true.
Hey, I just wanted to remind you that you can be fat and beautiful. You can be fat and hot. You can be fat and successful. You can also be fat and live the best life ever.
Yes, exactly. Fat people can live their best lives too.
You cannot live your best life if you are very morbidly obese, and that is just a fact. Everyone likes to talk, when I see people talking about fat acceptance and body positivity, they like to bring up the illnesses, right? The early death, right, of being morbidly obese. However, an equal factor to that, in my opinion, is just the everyday quality of life. You cannot tell me as a morbidly obese person that your back doesn't hurt, that your feet and your joint doesn't hurt. I mean, when I was at my heaviest, I was pushing 300 pounds. I felt like shit every day. I didn't have any damn energy. I was always fatigued. I was always in pain. I had headaches. So minus the illnesses, minus the early death, minus the fatigue and the pain and that kind of stuff, your wellness cannot be that great as a morbidly obese person or as a person with extremely unhealthy habits. I keep saying that because there's a lot of skinnies out here that be having extremely unhealthy eating habits and lifestyle habits too. Just because you're in a thin body doesn't excuse you from taking care of yourself in that way. It doesn't make you automatically healthier than a person has a little bit of chunk on them. That's not what I'm saying. So I'm really kind of speaking for both parties, but I know for a fact that if you are morbidly obese and you have all that weight on you, that you are not living your best quality of life that you could be living. Period, point blank. Because go to a damn theme park. I dare you to go to a damn theme park. That's all I gotta say. And the thing is, I think a lot of these people, if you have been big and chunky your entire life, if you have been that way your entire life, you might not know how bad you're feeling on a daily basis. You might not even recognize how poor your quality of everyday life is, because feeling shitty is your normal. You get used to it to the point where you don't even realize what you're missing out on. And I am telling you, when you lose weight, when you get healthier, okay, and start practicing healthy, not even when you lose weight, I'm talking about even when you start and you start exercising and putting better things in your body, you will be surprised at the difference it makes, okay? And you feel so much better on a daily basis. Like, I don't wake up feeling miserable and shit every morning, and it grinds my gears and it tees me off when they try to say that you can live your best quality of life and, just treat your body like shit at the same time. It don't work that way, sweetheart. Where the delulu and the discrimination really cuts in for me is because a lot of them are clearly starting to get some discrimination towards the skinnies, the evil, evil skinnies. They really don't like them. They really don't like also anyone who is sharing their weight loss journey, okay? Because I have seen posts about them talking shit about people who are leaving the fat acceptance community or even just sharing their weight loss on social media.
It's not about you having goals. It's about the fact that perpetuating diet culture and spreading diet culture, a lot of the times most diets turn into eating disorders. There's a lot of research. I'm not a doctor. Please feel free to look at it yourself. But a lot of the times people see this and they're like, I can do that. I'm sorry, I'm moving. Hold on. I'm in a Starbucks drive-thru. Anyways, so a lot of the times people will see that and they want to copy it. And a lot of people don't put enough effort and research and thought into diets, which don't last. I think it's like 98% of diets don't last, so fuck that. You gain the weight back, it's unhealthy. You cut so much out, you binge. I don't want to be a part of that. I've had a handful of eating disorders in my lifetime. I am becoming really, really comfortable with food and eating, and I do not want to fall into that rabbit hole. So I will not watch, I will not promote, I will not like. I simply will unfollow, and sometimes I will literally block that person. I do not want to see.
So many body positive advocates are now posting about intentional weight loss. And honestly, this should be a huge red flag to us. This is why the difference between body positivity and fat liberation is so incredibly important. And in addition, when you build an entire platform off of being body positive and it's like, your body's perfect the way it is, it doesn't need to change, yada, yada, yada. And then now you're posting videos like, why I'm on Wegovy, why I'm on Ozempic. That goes against everything you built your platform on, shockingly. And also, can't you do those things but silently, like to yourself and not super out loud online? Just a question. Just thinking here.
I don't watch TV. Like, no one cares. You don't get an award because you watch less TV.
Why? Because it makes them feel bad. Because what's happening is it's obviously a projection of internalized insecurity, negativity, and their own past failures within themselves. That acceptance is basically kind of like marketed as the ultimate solution for these people to make it all better. It basically tells them that you're not the problem, sweetheart. So therefore, there's nothing to fail at or be guilty of. And believing this logic and being part of the fat acceptance community is basically kind of marketed as an all-in-one solution. But the truth is, it's not an all-in-one damn solution. It's not a solution at all because all the internal issues are still there and they're still miserable and leading a poor quality of life at the end of the day. So when they see or experience something that triggers the hell out of them, like, a skinny person or a person who has been successful at weight loss, or, a chair or a seat that doesn't fit them, that triggers them and makes them feel bad and reminds them of their internal failures and trauma and insecurities within themselves. But we have that built-in defense mechanism now of body positivity / fat acceptance and that bullshit. That's built in, so it kicks in right away, right? And therefore it allows them to flag the external trigger as a problem, aka the skinny person, the person losing weight, the airplane seat, the towel, etc. So they can now project this anger and negative emotions that is building up inside of them from being triggered onto that external thing. And they can flag that as the problem that needs to be changing instead of themselves. Do you see where the privilege is building up? Because when they see something that triggers them and makes them feel bad and affects them in some kind of negative way, that means whatever that thing is bad and needs to be fixed. It needs to be changed. It couldn't possibly anything that they need to goddamn work on. That doesn't exist. As South Park was bringing up in this great special, you should watch it, by the way. It's good. You know what I mean? Not sponsored, but South Park, anytime you can call your girl. It obviously benefits these unhealthy food companies, these processed food companies, okay? Because what they can do now is be like, yes, work. You're beautiful, you're perfect just the way you are.
You're perfect, you're beautiful, you look like Linda Evangelista, you're a model.
You don't need changing, you don't need to eat healthier. That's not the problem. Keep buying our junk food. Keep eating it. Don't worry. Don't slow down or try to cut back. Oh no, we don't want to lose money. And you don't want to lose that delicious junk food, do you? So it works out perfectly for these food companies. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much this community wants to delude themselves. That hole is still being dug. And they can scream discrimination, and they can scream fat acceptance, and they can try to deny simple scientific facts all they goddamn want. But at the end of the day, these people are getting sick. These people are dying. And every single day, they're not living the best life they could be, because they choose to be in denial and they choose to be bitter Bettys over it instead of doing something about it. I'm talking a lot of shit, but I am not at my lowest anymore. My fupa is fupaing for the summer, but from coming back from almost 300 pounds, I'm telling you right now, if you are a person who has been considering losing weight or just getting healthy, any kind of healthy journey, it is 1000% worth it. Your goal doesn't have to necessarily be looks or fitting into a societal standard. Your goal is to feel healthy and happy and live your absolute best life so you can show up as your best version of yourself. I think I've covered everything that I wanted to say. Please let me know if you want me to react to some fat acceptance stuff, because I've been thinking about doing it for this video, but I was just like, nah, I just kind of want this to be a sit down discussion. If you are into weight loss content and things of that nature, I just uploaded another video. Wait, what is the other video I just uploaded? Oh my gosh, I'm trying to goddamn blank. Oh, my ADHD is ADHD. I just uploaded a video on gorlworld, the world of Amberlynn Reid and Foodie Beauty. If you know, you know. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So if you were into that, please check out that video. I also have videos where I am tier listing the 600-pound life episodes. So check out those videos if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think about my thoughts in the comments. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? Let me know. I want to hear either way. Please make sure that you subscribe and like the video, or my Count Nova, she's gonna be pissed. And I will see you guys in the next one.